Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? Or struggled to remember the name of someone you've known for years, standing there with that awful blank expression on your face? Perhaps you've noticed that conversations are getting harder to follow, or that you're reading the same paragraph 3 times because the words just won't stick anymore. These moments are more than just embarrassing. They're warning signs that something deeper is happening inside your brain. And if you ignore them, you might be setting yourself up for a future you never imagined. Here's what terrifies most people over 60. The fear isn't just about forgetting where you put your keys. It's about losing yourself piece by piece. It's about watching your independence slip away until you can no longer recognize the faces of the people you love most. It's about becoming a burden to your children when you spent your whole life protecting them. And the worst part, most people believe this decline is inevitable, that there's nothing they can do except wait for the fog to roll in and take over completely. But what if I told you that everything you've been told about aging and memory loss is wrong? What if there was a way to fight back, to reclaim the sharpness you once had using nothing more than 60 seconds of your day? No expensive medications with dangerous side effects. No complicated technology. Just one simple exercise that combines movement and mental challenge in a way that literally rewires your brain. The science behind this is so powerful that researchers have found training programs can partially reverse normal age-related losses in memory in adults aged 60 and over. My name is Dr. Nereta, and I've spent the last 23 years as a neurologist specializing in cognitive health and brain aging. I've sat across from thousands of patients who came to me with that same look of quiet desperation in their eyes. They tell me about the small failures that are adding up, the appointments they forgot, the stories that trail off mid-sentence because they lost their train of thought, the growing anxiety every time they need to learn something new because their brain just doesn't work the way it used to. What breaks my heart is that so many of these people have given up before they even started fighting. They've accepted the myth that cognitive decline is just part of getting older, like gray hair or wrinkles. Society reinforces this lie constantly. We make jokes about senior moments. We speak slowly and loudly to older adults as if they've already lost their faculties. And gradually, people start to believe it about themselves. They stop challenging their minds. They retreat into familiar routines. And by doing so, they actually accelerate the very decline they're trying to avoid. But here's the truth that the research has proven beyond any doubt. Your brain has an incredible capacity to change and adapt throughout your entire life through a process called neuroplasticity, which involves the growth of new brain cells and connections. Think about that for a moment. Your brain at 70, 80, even 90 years old still has the power to grow new pathways, to strengthen existing connections, to compensate for areas that have weakened. The garden of your mind doesn't have to wither with age. It can bloom again if you give it the right care. Let me share with you the story of Margaret, a woman who came to my office 2 years ago at age 74. She was a retired English teacher, someone who had spent her entire career working with words and ideas. But when she came to see me, she was barely reading anymore. She told me that she'd pick up a book and realize she couldn't remember anything from the page she'd just read. Conversations with her grandchildren left her exhausted because she had to work so hard to follow what they were saying. She confessed to me with tears in her eyes that she was terrified of developing dementia like her mother had. We ran all the standard tests. There were some age-related changes, nothing catastrophic, but enough to concern her. She expected me to prescribe medication. Instead, I taught her the same exercise I'm about to teach you. Margaret was skeptical. She actually laughed and said, "Doctor, I came here for real help, not party tricks." But she was desperate enough to try anything. So, she promised me she'd do this simple 60-second exercise every single day for 1 month. For weeks later, Margaret returned to my office. The difference was remarkable. She walked in with more energy, more confidence. She told me she'd started reading again, really reading and actually enjoying it. She was following conversations without that mental fatigue. Most importantly, she felt like herself again. The fog had started to lift. Now, 2 years later, Margaret still does this exercise every morning, and she's sharper now than she was when we first met. So, what is this exercise that made such a dramatic difference? It's based on the principle of dual task training, which has been proven particularly effective in improving global cognitive function, memory, executive function, and other advanced cognitive abilities in older adults. The concept is elegantly simple, but neuroscientifically profound. You're going to combine a physical movement with a mental challenge, forcing different regions of your brain to work together simultaneously. Research shows that dual task training can enhance attention, processing speed, and cognitive performance in older adults. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing things differently in a way that creates maximum neurological impact with minimum time investment. Here's exactly how to do it. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably. You'll need a chair with good back support. Sit with your feet flat on the floor, shoulder width apart. Your posture matters here because we want blood flowing freely to your brain. Sit up straight but relaxed, not rigid. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for 3 seconds and exhale slowly through your mouth. This prepares your nervous system for focused activity. Now, for the first 30 seconds, we're going to activate your body and brain together. Place both hands on your thighs. Slowly raise your right arm straight out in front of you until it's parallel to the floor. As you lift your arm, breathe in deeply through your nose, counting to 4 in your mind. Then slowly lower your arm back down while breathing out through your mouth, again counting to 4. Immediately repeat with your left arm. The key is smooth, controlled movement synchronized with deliberate breathing. This isn't about speed. It's about coordination and attention. The breathing component is crucial. Deep, controlled breathing increases oxygen delivery to your brain cells. Your neurons are incredibly hungry for oxygen, and many older adults have developed shallow breathing patterns without realizing it. Meanwhile, the coordinated arm movements activate your motor cortex and cerebellum, regions involved in movement control and coordination. You're waking up these systems that may have been on autopilot for too long. After 30 seconds of this breathing and movement pattern, we shift into the second phase. This is where the real magic happens. Continue the exact same arm movements and breathing pattern, but now you're going to add a cognitive challenge. As you move your arms up and down, you're going to name items from a specific category out loud. Start with something straightforward, like types of animals. While raising your right arm, say dog. While lowering it, think. While raising your left arm, say cat. Keep going. Elephant, tiger, rabbit, whatever comes to mind. Why does this work so powerfully? You're forcing your brain to coordinate multiple complex tasks at once. Your motor system is controlling precise movements. Your respiratory system is maintaining a specific breathing pattern. Your working memory is actively searching for category members. Your language system is producing speech. And your executive function system is orchestrating all of these processes simultaneously. Studies demonstrate that combining multisensory cognitive stimulation with physical exercise training twice a week can effectively reduce progression of age-related cognitive decline. This dual task approach creates more neural activity than either component alone. It's like the difference between lifting one weight and doing a complex athletic movement that engages your entire body. The category naming component specifically targets your semantic memory and retrieval processes, areas that commonly weaken with age. When you force yourself to actively search your memory banks while managing the physical task, you're strengthening the neural pathways between different brain regions. You're building what neuroscientists call cognitive reserve, your brain's resilience against damage and decline. After 60 seconds, stop and take a moment to notice how you feel. Many people report feeling more alert, more present, almost as if a light has been switched on. That's not imagination. You've just sent a surge of activity through brain regions that may have been relatively quiet. You've increased blood flow, activated dormant neural networks, and challenged your brain in a way that promotes growth and adaptation. But here's the critical part that most people get wrong. This exercise only works if you do it consistently and progressively. Your brain is smart. It adapts quickly. If you do the exact same thing every day, the benefit diminishes because your brain figures it out and stops being challenged. Think of it like strength training. If you lift the same weight the same way forever, you stop getting stronger. You need progression. In your first week, use simple, concrete categories: animals, fruits, colors, furniture, cities. Keep the cognitive load moderate while you're establishing the habit and perfecting the physical coordination. Pay attention to your breathing. Make sure you're completing full breath cycles with each arm movement. By week 2, increase the difficulty. Instead of broad categories, try more specific ones. Name dog breeds, types of trees, car manufacturers, countries in Europe. You can also try naming words that start with a specific letter. Give yourself the letter M, for example, and name as many M words as you can while maintaining the movement and breathing pattern. Week 3, introduce arithmetic. Count backward from 100 by threes while doing the arm movements: 97, 94, 91. This is significantly harder than category naming because it requires continuous calculation. If you lose track, just start again from 100. The challenge itself is the point, not perfection. Week 4 and beyond, get creative. Recite the alphabet backward. Name historical figures. List the US presidents in reverse order. Spell long words backward. The goal is to keep your brain guessing, to maintain that sweet spot of difficulty where you're challenged but not overwhelmed. The mistakes people make are predictable and worth avoiding. First, rushing through it. This isn't about speed. Slow, deliberate movements combined with focused attention create the neurological benefits. If you're moving fast, you're probably not maintaining proper breathing or full cognitive engagement. Second, doing it while distracted. Don't have the television on. Don't try to do this while someone's talking to you. This is 60 seconds dedicated entirely to your brain health. Protect it. Third, giving up too soon. The first few days might feel awkward or even silly. Your brain is forming new patterns. Give it time. The research supporting this approach is extensive and compelling. Studies show exercise improves learning and memory while attenuating neurodegeneration, including Alzheimer's disease, by improving neuroplasticity through altering synaptic structure and function. Multiple clinical trials have demonstrated that older adults who engage in combined cognitive and physical training show measurable improvements in memory, attention, processing speed, and executive function. One particularly impressive study found that physical exercise interventions spanning 1 to 3 months substantially impact executive function among older adults. The duration matters. This isn't a one-week miracle cure, but with consistent practice over several weeks, the changes can be profound and lasting. The neurological mechanisms behind these improvements are fascinating. When you challenge your brain with dual tasks, you're promoting the release of growth factors like brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which acts like fertilizer for your neurons. You're enhancing connectivity between the prefrontal cortex, which handles executive function and decision-making, and the hippocampus, which is critical for memory formation. You're improving communication between the left and right hemispheres of your brain. All of this translates into real-world cognitive improvements. Beyond the 60-second exercise, there are additional strategies that amplify the benefits. Hydration is crucial. Your brain is approximately 75% water. Even mild dehydration impairs cognitive function. Drink a full glass of water before doing your daily exercise. Your neurons will thank you. Sleep cannot be overlooked. Sleep strengthens important memories and helps regulate emotions while integrating new knowledge with prior experiences, making it crucial for neuroplasticity. Adults over 60 still need 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. If you're only getting 5 or 6 hours, you're fighting an uphill battle regardless of what exercises you do. Social connection matters more than most people realize. Those with active social lives are less likely to experience cognitive decline compared to individuals who are more isolated. Loneliness is toxic to brain health. Engaging in meaningful conversations, learning about new people, maintaining friendships. These aren't luxuries. They're necessities for cognitive wellness. I want to address the fear that brought many of you here, the fear of Alzheimer's disease and dementia. While this 60-second exercise isn't a guaranteed prevention strategy, the evidence strongly suggests that keeping your brain active and challenged provides significant protection. You're building cognitive reserve, which means your brain can withstand more damage before symptoms appear. You're maintaining the health of neural networks that degenerate in Alzheimer's. You're doing everything within your power to stack the odds in your favor. Margaret, the retired teacher I mentioned earlier, recently sent me a letter. She's now 76 and has been doing this exercise for 2 years. She wrote, Dr. Nereta, I can't prove that this exercise saved me from my mother's fate, but I can tell you that I feel more mentally alive now than I did 5 years ago. I'm learning Italian. I'm volunteering at the library, helping kids with reading. I wake up every day knowing my mind is still my own. That's everything. That's what this is really about. It's not just about remembering names or following conversations, though those matter immensely. It's about maintaining your autonomy, your sense of self, your ability to engage with the world on your own terms. It's about not becoming a passenger in your own life. The 60-second exercise I've shared with you today is a tool, but your commitment to using it is what determines the outcome. 1 minute every single day. That's 7 minutes per week, 28 minutes per month, just over 5 hours per year. Can you honestly say that 5 hours per year isn't worth investing in your cognitive future? Start tomorrow morning before your coffee, before you check your phone, before anything else. Sit in your chair. Breathe. Move your arms. Challenge your mind. Do it again the next day and the next. Make it as automatic as brushing your teeth. In 4 weeks, pay attention to how you feel. Notice if you're finding words more easily. Check if conversations are less exhausting. See if that mental fog has started to clear. The science is clear. The method is simple. The only variable is you. Your brain is waiting for you to wake it up, to challenge it, to give it the stimulation it needs to grow stronger instead of weaker. Age is inevitable, but decline is not. You have more power than you've been told. Use it